What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of No Client Agent Privilege, aka No Cap Podcast. Your boy Evan, your boy Will on the other side. Tonight we are doing a little Manning cast style because the Florida weather is just hammering us down here. So we're gonna try to get in an episode while we watch a little Monday Night Football along with the Manning brothers and everything. A little Chicago and Vikings action right now. But let's dive in quick because college football was crazy this weekend. Some good upsets between Missouri State, Marshall, Mississippi State, Arizona State, Baylor versus SMU, Ohio versus West Virginia, USF versus UF. But I think that USF versus UF has just got to be putting people on edge because we already said that Florida's schedule was not the easiest after that Long Island game.
The hardest.
And literally speaking, like this was a game that they should have put a dub up.
Oh yeah,
and
I mean
it was at home.
They paid them to come and lose.
$500,000 to come whoop our butts. How about that? You want $500,000 come whoop my butt? Like, come on. So, again, is that the biggest upset, or do we take the Mississippi State Cowbells and say the Big 12, other rival conference? They came in and they whooped us, or Arizona State came in and they tore down the goalpost for that game. Like, you would have thought they won the national championship up in Starkville.
Probably Mississippi State, because I mean, who would have seen, like, judging by week one, the way USF won in dominating fashion. Obviously, Boise had a lot of returning starters.
Right.
You lose the offensive catalyst in Genty, but the way that they put it on Boise, and then, you look at them going to UF and doing what they did, and the defense still did what the defense did because they only held Boise to 7 points?
Right, something like that. Yeah.
A very low score compared to, I think USF put up like 30 plus. I think it was higher.
Right.
I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but the defense did what the defense did the week prior.
Yeah, 34-7 versus Boise.
So, and then to go into UF and
into UF, the swamp,
and hold
the
them
SEC, big bad SEC.
Hold them to what? Less than three touchdowns, we'll say.
Yeah, 16.
18-16. Be able to put a complete game together, even though the offense wasn't high flying like it was against Boise.
Yeah, but even still, your star quarterback goes 23 for 36, 263 yards passing. It's like, hello, we're talking about those are SEC numbers against an SEC defense. Like, isn't that supposed to be the opposite when a group of 5 team comes into town? Like, your 5-star DJ Lagway should be doing those types of numbers. I mean, I don't know. Let's see what his numbers. His numbers he was 23 for 33 with 200 plus yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So QBR, you take away the interception, they're relatively the same. So here we sit and talk about
DJ Lagalele now.
Yeah, Lagalele, because that's about what it's going to turn into if it doesn't turn around for the rest of the year. I mean, they got LSU this week, so no, literally they have no soft spots the rest of those were their two. They were supposed to go into LSU 2-0. So hopefully LSU doesn't take that as a sign of weakness, but you gotta play it through. Yeah.
But getting back to the other side of the upsets, a bottom of the barrel SEC school still appears to be better than a top Big 12 school, and
I mean
that's an issue. We kind of talked about it last episode. We toyed with the idea of a Power 3. It's not a good look for the Big 12, and if the Big 12 can't keep up financially with these SEC, ACC, Big 10 schools, then they, especially in the era that we are in with college sports, between the portal and NIL, the Big 12 might find them in a bigger hole than they expected. And they might find themselves there with the Pac. I wouldn't say with the Pac-12 in terms of everyone leaves the conference, but they might find themselves somewhere just in between the top three and then like the AAC.
Well, look at this too. So speaking of Big 12, another upset was Ohio Mac whooping up on West Virginia. I mean, I know West Virginia is in a rebuild right now, but
Yeah, they haven't been
we're talking about Power Five,
group of five.
Group of Five. Isn't there supposed to be this gap there that like no matter what you're talking like the Power Five school,
Even
especially
financial wise,
right,
too.
and I mean,
Roster
don't
and
get me wrong,
financial.
I know Navarro, the quarterback over at Parker over at Ohio. I know he can ball. We've seen him
For
do it to
sure, for
multiple
sure.
teams. So the fact that West Virginia, I would say, didn't go in with a little bit more urgency to this game because West Virginia, I mean, you've been trying to get back on, get back in the saddle here for, I want to say, at least the last 5 years now, trying to find the
Yes,
right coach and this,
yes.
that, and the other. But like, I mean, 17-10. I mean, nobody scored a touchdown in the second half. It's like, come on now, West Virginia. You've been known to have some of the most electric football players
It's
ever in college
true. It's
history.
true.
What are we, what are we doing? Like,
I
you
remember when I
can't.
was growing up and just getting into college football. Really, West Virginia was a good team.
West Virginia was a
It
great
was
team.
somebody that you really saw on the television like that on Saturdays, and I remember when they came to play UCF in UCF's inaugural Big 12 season, and they whooped up on UCF. And for me, I was thinking as a optimistic, maybe overly optimistic UCF fan, the first year in the Big 12, thinking that West Virginia was going to be a win. I think that was the game that they were winning. No, that was the Baylor game. We're not going to talk
That
about
was
that.
yeah. No, let's
But
not go down that
but
road.
yeah, and they still put together a really nice win against UCF. So, um,
Right.
what is there to really say?
I mean,
As a conference, when you look at the Big 12, there might be some.
yeah, you're taking losses like that, and it's not good for the conference. And generally speaking, like you can't take losses like that, especially. I mean, I guess if it was like early in the season or late in the season, West Virginia's beat up, they just had a rough season, something like that. Okay, you get caught on the MAC champs. Like don't like again, Ohio plays Ohio State this weekend. Ohio State needs to be on upset alert. Like Parker's not going to go down.
No,
I'm just all right. I'm not saying like I'm just saying they can't take Ohio lightly. That's all. That's all I'm
sure,
saying. I'm
don't.
not saying
Yeah, okay, okay.
I'm not putting up the alarm. I'm just
We'll
saying
come back to this if they win.
Ohio State needs to be on alert just in general. I'm not saying upset alert, but in
Don't
generally
play down
speaking,
to the competition.
don't yes. Well, not even I wouldn't even say that. Don't even give them a chance to play up to your level of competition.
For
That's
sure,
even more so what I'm leaning on. So
for
that would
sure.
be more so what I would look at. But again, even the Michigan Oklahoma, I know Oklahoma edged that one out up in Norman, but you're talking about new offensive coordinators, a lot of stuff going on in Michigan. So that's a good SEC win versus a Big Ten win. That's one of those wins that you'll look back at the end of the season, like where SEC Oklahoma sits versus where Big Ten Michigan sits in the playoff bracket. If those numbers and teams come into those top positions, who's going to be fighting for those last spots? Who's going to be trying to earn those
Absolutely.
last playoff spots? So
And
kind of one of those things that'll be interesting to see how it
a
turns
big
out.
question right now as it stands, obviously it's week 2, but the Big 12, their highest ranked conference member right now in the top 25 is Iowa State at,
Yep.
I believe, 14.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, if the season ended today, obviously they wouldn't be getting in. But my thing is, as the season goes on and things happen and change, whether it's personnel or coaching, schemes,
Injuries
injuries,
happens all the time.
schedules maybe get harder because a team is on the upswing. Will the Big 12 actually have a member school school in the playoffs this season. It's a real thing. It's a
I
real
mean,
question. I think.
it
I mean,
really is. I mean,
there was only one last season, and that was Arizona State. And
and that was
now
because
Iowa State's kind of
they were the
carrying the torch.
conference champion.
Right. And there's no more conference champion auto bid. So
Right. So, like I said, I don't really know where the Big 12 sits in all this. I mean, this is kind of one of those situations where your conference play can get real tricky, because if everyone starts beating everyone, then that knocks you out of your own chances of being in the playoffs. Because if it's that competitive, it's all great and dandy for the conference to show that it's competitive within each other. But then in the long term effect, you're going to put yourself out of playoff contention. So
it's a good
I don't
point.
know. It's going to be a tough sledding, I believe, for oh my God, you got to make that sack. Wow, that's embarrassing. Can't. Chicago just get running around on Vikings. It's embarrassing. But anyways, no, I mean we'll have to come back and we'll keep our eye on the Big 12 and see what ends up
Right.
happening, because at this point nobody stands out. Nobody's truly
No.
going. I mean, it just, you look at it and you're just like, who's at the top here? Nobody really. I mean,
Right.
UCF played NC A&T this weekend, 68-7. It's all great and dandy, and then the NC A&T coach comes out and says, "We lost two quarterbacks. We're down to our third. Is it even worth playing a Power Four school anymore? Whether it's a Big 12 or whoever to go in, is it worth the upset and the notoriety and the money just to go down to your third string quarterback the second game of the season, or possibly the first game, depending on, you
Injuries could
know,
happen at any time, any place, anywhere. I don't
right?
know if it's fair to insinuate that playing a Power Four school caused you to lose your two quarterbacks in the depth
Bigger,
chart.
faster, stronger. I mean, that isn't that the notion that playing a Power Four school, that's what you get. They're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster. That's why they
Then don't
dominate
schedule
us.
those games.
That's what I'm saying. That's his notion. Is like, I think, I
Play
think
North
it hurts
Dakota
us.
State.
I'm hey, good. Hey, kudos to you if you want to play that. I mean, that's up to
Yeah,
you.
like
I would be a very cautious group of five school to go out and say I want to play North Dakota State.
play
That's all I'm
Richmond.
saying.
Play
Yeah,
Richmond. Play I
just
don't know. Play
saying.
someone else.
I don't know.
That's what I have
Anyways,
to say to that. Like
that's I just
I feel bad that your season gets derailed by doing something like that, but on the other side of things, like the answer kind of is yes, kind of. The money helps you, attract other
well, that's what it's
talented
supposed to do. It's supposed to help
players.
your athletic department.
Right.
You're taking the bullet for your school, basically. Like, that's really what you're doing. You're taking a bullet for your school. Like, hey, we need this money. All right, let's go. Like, they got to take a shot. I mean,
Especially if I don't really know how good and North Carolina A&T is on a yearly
I
basis,
couldn't. Yeah, as I say, I couldn't tell
but
you on that one either.
at least like take the money, even if you spend it on like a player or whatever, however many players, at least build up your statistics or analytics department so that you could at least find those diamonds in the rough or be able to really scout better and find the talent that has gone under the radar and then maybe build your team that way.
Yeah, I mean, being in the CAA doesn't help no matter how good you are. So, um,
Definitely not.
again, just again, more to the point that the coach was now second guessing his decision for taking a game like that,
Mm-hmm.
even for the money, because now it could, derail the rest of the season, whatever that season might have turned into.
For
So
sure.
I can understand on both ends. You need the money either way, so you take the game because you need the game. But let's go ahead, since we've already kind of mentioned NFL. Let's go ahead and
Definitely.
move over into
Definitely.
the NFL side of stuff. And first week, I think there was a lot more good surprises than bad surprises, I would say. I think a lot of what we kind of insinuated with regards to how these teams are going to be between Eagles, Cowboys to start, and then obviously Chargers, Chiefs in Brazil. I mean, I feel like both of those games were literally the perfect example of what this season can be. I mean, dog eat dog. Cowboys, what's his name, get kicked off the first, spitting of the season.
Oh, Jalen Carter.
Yeah, Jalen Carter getting, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's week one. Might as well get it out of the way now. Let's get it out of our system now. If we're gonna do it, let's do it week one. Jalen, if you're gonna spit on somebody, do it right now. So if you get yours, fine, you pay that off before we get to the playoffs. Like
George
let's
Pickens was probably pissed it wasn't him getting the first and
yeah,
of the season.
probably was, honestly speaking. So, but even still, like when we look back on it, that type of altercation, it might have fueled the Eagles to play a little bit better to win that game out. It wasn't a blowout by any means. That it was 24-20. That's a one score game. I think the spread was like 6.5 for the Eagles because of Parsons and everything going on. But it's like when you look at the Cowboys offense, that's a pretty good offense. I mean,
Always
offensive
been.
line has
Always
a couple
been.
holes, but that offensive weaponry is pretty up there. And then Eagles
Javonte
obviously holding it
Williams.
down.
Javonte Williams looked great. If he can
Yeah,
keep producing like how he was, the Cowboys will
agreed.
definitely be a lot better off because I think since Zeke left, it's been a lot of the passing game, which is
Right.
fine if you can consistently do it. And I think the quarterback play from Dak Prescott has always been consistent enough to be competitive. I think that we would like to see I think everybody would like to see, including Cowboys fans, some more success, deeper in the playoffs and whatnot. Obviously,
Yeah,
there's
yeah. I
been
mean, be
coaching
like,
turnover, but if the Cowboys can, still have a competitive defense with the loss of their best defensive player,
I
then
mean,
why
it
not?
is their best. Yeah, I mean, it is. There's no argument. Parsons was their best player, so it is up for him to say anybody else was better than him on that defense. But even still, when you look at that game, anyways, Jalen Hurts is still your leading rusher. So if you're the Cowboys, you I mean, I know they lost the game, but I mean, if Parsons on the field, then what happens? Then he's not the leading rusher. He has that one extra sack. Like that's what they call a game changer. Because the 3 plays that he makes, the one TFL, the one sack, the one no gain, it goes from 24-20 to 21-24 or 21-20. Like it's those types of plays and those types of things where they might not statistically be overly, outrageous, but those 3 plays in a game literally changes the entire outcome. So, and even I know their game between the Lions and Detroit, or the Lions and the Packers. That game was, when we talk about, obviously it was a lot more in control on the Packer side because they were up at, I think like 17-3 going into the half. But Parsons had already made his plays. Like he was already on the field. He didn't play that much, but
Right,
enough to make an effective change on
for
their
sure.
defense. And you could definitely tell like those few plays, I don't want to say electrified the defense, but he like brought a little bit more jolt to the defense. And I feel like that definitely you could see that play out a little bit more on that perspective of the Packers Lions. Now, overreaction wise, I don't think Lions fans need to overly hype what happened. I think the Packers had a lot of momentum, and losing 2 coordinators, that's going to be some stuff that they're going to have to work out. But Jared Goff went for 31 for 39, 200 plus yards and a tutty. I mean, you can't ask much more from your quarterback. Sorry, like I don't know, 31 for 39. That's about as good as you could get.
It, d- do you think that the Lions have nothing to worry about here?
I mean, what am I supposed to worry about right now as a Lions fan, other
I
than the
mean,
fact that my
after week
defense is still
one,
learning?
I think I think the Lions. I don't know the numbers, but how was the run game? If you know,
Like how many? I mean, their run game was nothing. I mean, they had like three rushers for like 30 yards each, like
I guess
60.
that's like
Let's see.
okay, but
Let's see what
I
they're
think
rushing.
I think you make a good point with the losing the coordinators. You're gonna have
They had,
some growing pains, for sure.
no, they only had, hold on, they only had 25 yards rushing, only 11 rushing attempts though, which is not good.
That's not good at all. That's like less than 2.5 yards an attempt.
Yep. And Jared Goff still threw for 200, so that's why he was in such bad shape probably at the end of the game. Yep.
Well, it's not a good situation if you're Detroit. I think that there were probably higher hopes coming into the season. Obviously, the Packers defense got a lot better, and Jordan Love played a great game as well. So you kind of just got to hand it to the Packers and go forward if you're the Lions. But
I mean, you're going to see them again in a few weeks anyway,
I
so
think,
we'll
like
we'll
you
be right
said,
back in Detroit. Let it ride.
I think, like you said, there's not really much need for overreactions to the game. I think that they lost and they'll make it up in the rest of the season.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, at this point, I don't see Detroit needing to freak out over that one game. I think, like I said, I think the Packers just had a lot of momentum. Parsons, all the hype between Jordan Love and his, growth and development as a quarterback, blah, 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 you name it. I just believe that going into that game, there was a lot more push behind the Packers than there was Detroit, especially this being Detroit's first game with new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, everything like that. So just bumps and bruises you're going to have in a first game set. I mean, look at the Steelers, Jets, same concept basically. Everybody's new offensive coordinator, new quarterbacks. Take them down to the wire, and Aaron Rodgers has to do Aaron Rodgers things just to win against a New York Jets team that everyone had already written off for the season, like
Had
before the
they?
season even started. I mean, who looked at the Jets offense and said, "Yeah, this team is going to be able to score 32 points on the Steelers." On the Steelers.
Oh no, the
On the
Steelers.
Steelers.
Like,
Come
I
on, put your hand down.
mean,
I don't
come
don't don't
on.
don't do that. Put that hand down. On the Steelers, 32 points. Not a shot in hell.
No, the
Not a shot in hell.
Steelers.
Nah, I don't want to hear it from you. No shot, no way in hell you thought the Jets were gonna put 32 points on the Pittsburgh
I
Steelers
thought the Jets.
defense.
I said a couple episodes ago that the Jets have a good offense. Maybe not 32 points on the Steelers. That's not what I meant when I said it. But I did say that if Justin Fields can play some relatively good football, then the Jets have a chance to do well this season.
I was more impressed with, honestly, with the
Their run
Jets
game.
defense. Well,
Oh,
no, actually, their defense. Their defensive line. Will Anderson, or not Will Anderson. Oh my God, McDonald. Will
mhm.
McDonald and the other edge. Oh my God, it's killing me that I can't remember. I mean, they were getting after Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they were going at him. So, I mean, I saw him get super frustrated. Even times when he got sacked, he legitimately like wanted to throw some of the defensive linemen off of them and everything. So,
So
I mean,
Jermaine
again,
Johnson.
yes, Jermaine Johnson. Thank you. Yes. So watching them, I mean, legitimately, you know, between Will McDonald and even Leonard Taylor was getting in there. Like there were some very, very, very impressive D line schematics going against Aaron Rodgers. So very impressed from the defensive line standpoint. Uh,
Who's their
but
coach now on
obviously,
the Jets?
the head coach,
Yeah.
it's the defensive coordinator from the Lions last year.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. So and he was a defensive guy. So
Well,
he's
good on the Jets then. I think that it was a moral victory for them. I
I
mean,
mean,
what else is there to
I was gonna
say? They
say
won.
I take that with a grain of salt because we just lost Friday, and I don't look at moral victories the way I did because like again the Jets had that game won, so it's like you let Aaron Rodgers do Aaron Rodgers things, and that's what happened. So I can't give moral victory, especially not at this level. Maybe high school, maybe college, but again, at this level, you're talking about you getting paid millions to not blow leads, and this was a blown lead. Even Atlanta and Baker, like Baker goes down, scores a game-winning touchdown, and boom, Atlanta's out. There goes a great game for the Buccaneers just to go on and win it.
right?
And who else? I mean,
The
I mean
Giants.
Giants.
That's a sad one. As a Giants fan, I won't be biased. I'll be honest. I had higher hopes than what I saw. I think that it's just the same old stuff. And I think that at this point, it's deeper than just talent or quarterback play. I think that there probably needs to be some sort of coaching changes. I don't really know what they had going on the offensive side of the ball.
I
Whether
mean, it's hard to win a game when your star quarterback goes 17 for 37 and you have a total of 74 yards rushing between
he looked
four
bad.
running back.
He looked bad. Russ looked bad. There's a reason why Malik Neighbors was freaking out on the sidelines. I don't necessarily blame him.
I
Uh,
don't.
and the rush game was, like you just said, not really there. I thought Tyrone Tracy was gonna, step it up a little bit more, and with the addition of Cam Scattaboo, maybe you just, kind of hand the keys over to him a little bit more. And
I mean, I think they're trying to dual threat Cam way too much. Like the whole putting him out wide. Like
yeah, I had him out wide a
I
lot.
I don't know. Like that doesn't fit. Like I've known Cam since he was a junior at Arizona State, and Cam and I have even had those conversations. He loves to run the rock up the middle. He like
Oh
he's
yeah,
like he loves just pounding it up the middle for like breaking tackles, stuff like that. That's like what he's built for. He literally loves that about his game. And even for me, like your defense had like I don't know, like almost 4 sacks, something 3 sacks. Like that's a good defensive game. I don't know what I mean. You put the pressure, 5 quarterback hits, 3 sacks, 3 TFLs. I mean, that's a good. You think you see some
but
defensive stacks like that
with
that
how much
you're
with how much the
yeah.
defense was on the field, you're gonna let some slip through the cracks. That's the thing. The offense couldn't stay on the field.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like I mean they offense staying on the field, and I mean that is obviously going to weigh into your defensive stats. But I mean, I'm just saying from the fact of like when you let up 3+ sacks and there's only a certain amount of possessions in a game. If you're telling me that the statistics show that 1 sack ruins an entire change of possession, basically the statistics go down to like 13% that you'll score any points on that possession versus 1 sack. That changes a lot. I mean, for me as a defensive coordinator, if I know my defense is getting a sack basically every other or every third possession, that means they should be scoring less than one time every quarter. And I would hope not all touchdowns at some point. So yeah, I guess what
That's
you're
what it
saying is
was.
kind of as what you're saying is kind of like, yeah, I guess, maybe it is more um, coaching decisions and physical talent that's on the field. And obviously, I think I was watching Pat McAfee today, and even Darius Butler was like, who knows how long Russ will play or be the starter if games like this are happening? Because at 17 for 37, that's you're supposed to be a Super Bowl MVP type quarterback. That's not a
Right.
good day. I don't really care how bad your offensive line is or anything like that. 17 for 37, it's not good. It's not good at all. So for me, that's one of those things where you might again coaching decisions, things like that. You've seen Jameis, you've seen Jax. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you already give the rookie the ball, or you let Jameis come in and with his LASIK, light it up for a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one. I mean, you're the Giants fan, so I'll let you simmer on that one, and we'll circle back to that at the end of this season. And see where we're at with the quarterback play and things like that. Because you're gonna see Washington in a few weeks anyways. So I mean, just saddle back up and get right back to it.
There were 13 plays in the red zone that the Giants had against the Commanders, and
Okay.
0 points or 3 points to show for it.
Yeah, that's bad. That's very
So
bad.
that just kind of
That's
sums up what's going on there, and I
okay.
wish them the best going forward for the rest of the season, and we'll see what happens. So,
Yep. Nope. That's pretty bad. Yeah. So
and
that'll
then if you want to take a quarterback that the Giants should be looking at right now and his team, Daniel Jones, going for 33 points against the Well, okay, the Dolphins are bad. I said that they were going to be bad. I don't know if you remember me saying that they were going to be bad, but I said
I
that they were going
don't,
to be
but
bad, and they're going to be bad. But
I mean,
the
it's not even
Daniel
that they're
Jones,
bad to me. It's that they're soft. Like the crying
okay,
and the complaining and all that stuff. Like they are like uber soft. Like I'm talking Charmin Ultra soft. Like that's. I mean, if you want to take that as a hot take, because like I even saw like some of the abuse that the offense was taking. Like Tua, like come on, man. Like you've got the arm talent, you've got the receivers. I just don't know what's going on. I
Tua
mean,
Tagovailoa.
they are, but I mean, don't get me wrong. They were getting after Tua. Like they definitely were putting the pressure. But some of it was just like, you're a what year quarterback now? Like, and you are making rookie mistake throws.
But
Like,
he's been
I,
though. This is nothing new with him though. That's the thing.
but
He always
again,
has a handful of those every season. It just happens to be starting early.
right. And exactly, does it get better from here? Because I mean, Daniel Jones went 22 for 29. I mean,
He scored on every drive. They scored on every
yes.
drive.
I think his like at what yeah, 9.4 yards a throw. Like how much
Looking like prime Joe Namath.
literally every throw was a first down basically. Like every throw he was averaging a first down. Like you're not going to win games when the quarterback's doing that no matter what. So
No,
I
you're
don't
not.
know. So I mean my thing is like too, like the Dolphins rushing had 146 and or receiving had 146 and rushing had 78. Like that's bad. Like this high flying offense didn't even have barely had a total of 200 total yards. Like that's very bad. I don't know. I don't know what
Terrible.
the Dolphins want to do. I don't know. I don't know what Mike McDaniels has in store for all this. Like this
They're
is not
talking about
something
getting rid of McDaniel.
they are.
Well, not the Dolphins, but there has been chatter now on the whatever media outlets saying that maybe it's him that has to go,
Mm,
which
I
I
mean,
don't think I agree with, but
yeah, I
maybe that's
wouldn't. I
something
don't know
they'll
if
look
I would say
into.
that. I think I need to see. I think I need to see this defense kind of step up too because we know with Daniel Jones. I don't know. For me, I can't see Daniel Jones throwing 22 for 29 passes on my defense and then being like, oh, well, at least Daniel Jones didn't beat us. like, yeah, he did. Like, and, I'm not trying to roast him just because of his time in New York, but like, he was a guy that was not a commodity for most teams. Like, most teams didn't look at him as
Right.
even a
But
backup. So it's like he came in and took over the 8th overall draft pick position at the Colts, and they, I guess, and even at that point, they have literally said like it was even like a close, race for Daniel Jones and Anthony
but
Richardson.
that's the thing though. That's why with the Giants, not to go back, we're staying on the Colts, of course, but it's sad to see that the Giants looked like they still had Daniel Jones. You get what I mean? Like they scored 6 points. Like that's what we're used to seeing in the Daniel Jones era, unless it's 2022. But like
Mm,
that's what
I
I'm
get
trying
what
to
you mean.
say.
Yeah. No,
And then
I get what you mean.
I'm happy for Daniel Jones that he is actually on a team that sees his value, and he was able to showcase that. I don't really care that it was against the Dolphins. Maybe the Dolphins are genuinely just that bad, or maybe he just had a really good game. Like, I'm not saying that he's going to throw for an average of 9.5 yards every game, but
No, no, no. I mean that again. I think, and here's another one of those, like Detroit and Green Bay. Like Green Bay had a lot of momentum. Detroit, the Colts had a lot of momentum. They had a lot of emotions going that day. I mean, the stadium was literally basically dedicated to Jim Irsay, the owner that, passed away. So it's like there
all right,
was a lot of fiery emotion. And I'm sure Daniel Jones came out with the mindset that I need to prove myself today versus, it's supposed to be shootout or however it is that they wanted to call this game, whoever they thought this game was going to be. He knew he had to put up points, and he did. Now, on the other hand, the Dolphins didn't. So it makes him look that much better. Now, where that leads for the rest of the season, I mean, the AFC South is kind of like hit or miss. Like we saw the Jags play the
Panthers.
Panthers, and that was a blowout. And Texans, I mean, I don't know. I mean, everyone keeps saying like the Texans just don't like. I'm not saying that like sophomore slump or anything like that, or yeah, I don't know. I mean, everyone keeps saying like they don't believe in CJ Stroud anymore. I don't know if I truly believe that. I mean, I don't
That's
know.
silly.
That's what I'm saying. Like like on X and everything, everyone was like, what he looks like after week or season two. It's like I don't know. They played a pretty good LA Rams team. I mean, they have a lot to work on offensively, I feel like, but like 19 for 27, it's not terrible, but it's not great either. I mean, I don't know. You got to at least throw for one touchdown. I don't know. I think the Texans, maybe I just need to see another game because Matt Stafford was all over the place, 21 for 29. I mean, they look like they could actually do something this year. I mean, the NFC West is up for grabs. So, um,
So is the
you know,
AFC South, to be honest. Well,
yeah, I mean, no,
the
agreed,
Jaguars and
agreed.
the Colts, really.
I mean, I guess. I mean, who else? I mean,
The
yeah, I mean, I
NFC
guess.
South is going to be the Buccaneers again.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, after what I think Atlanta had him, and Young Ho Koo, like he missed a
He
good
strikes
easy
again.
kick.
Strikes again.
I mean, that's just.
I remember
Mm,
when he was on the Dolphins and he missed those two straight kicks in back-to-back weeks. And he got kicked off the team.
I mean, you are
I'm
the
pretty sure it
kicker.
was for the Dolphins.
I don't know. I don't remember. I'm not a Dolphin fan, so I couldn't tell you. But anyways, yeah. I mean, it'll be an interesting NFL season to say the least. I truly believe that after this week of watching some of these games, it was just like interesting to see where some of these teams are leaning on and who they're leaning on. CeeDee Lamb, he was pissed and gets back to Dallas and everyone's blowing up because he's on the jug machine at 7 a.m. The next day. Like he gets paid millions of dollars to not drop balls. So like, yeah, he should be on the jug machine. If that was me and my coach, like back in the day, I would have been on the jug machine. I would have been catching 100 balls after practice if I dropped balls like that. Like it's the same kind of like he's getting paid millions to not drop those, and he admitted to himself he shouldn't have. So it's like, and then kicker wise, you look at the Browns. Like the Browns should have beat the Bengals, but their kicker couldn't make a field goal or an extra point. So there goes
Well,
their Joe
people are
Flacco's
saying
return.
that the Bengals defense is legit.
Uh, I after that game, I wouldn't say that. I mean, they should be so grateful that their kicker missed because that game is that the Browns win that game if their kicker makes those kicks. So
Right.
Joe Flacco threw for like almost 300 yards on them. I don't want to say that defense is legit if that's the case. I can't sit here and say that the Bengals defense is legit when Joe Flacco threw for almost 300 yards on you. Just let's not go there yet. Let's see what he could. Let's see what he can do when another quarterback comes into play named A Rod, and let's see what that defense does.
Can't wait. You got any
Yep.
last
So
thoughts here?
NFL Red Zone wasn't as bad as I thought with the commercials. So
Sure.
I'll take that for what it is. I mean, there were a couple that did bother me, but you know, nothing I would overly change or be too dramatic on. I think people were obviously hitting ESPN and Disney with the ESPN ruins everything they touch, which is a valid. I mean, there are multiple instances of that. So
The evil
we'll
mouth.
leave it we'll leave it as is as for that, because if they buy us out, we're gonna have to kiss their ass. So um, shout out ESPN and Disney. But even still, again, at this point for the NFL season, I mean, I think the Jets and Steelers game was like a perfect example of what not to expect. You, who truly thought that that was the game that was going to, set the precedent for the season? Boswell coming in to kick the field goal. You got Aaron Rodgers and Justin Fields switching teams just to go and put 30 on each other on defenses that are, stud load. Like, who thought that was coming? Like
So you're saying
who
expect the
that,
unexpected.
that's what I'm saying. At least at this point, I mean, Jordan Love looked like he's playing at Brett Favre level, Packers prime, So it'll be an interesting season. Like I said, it's going to be one of those to definitely say that, who's coming out the champ. I don't know. KC didn't look like the dominant KC I've seen. So that
If
NFC or that
we
AFC West.
We'll wait until next week to talk about that because that could be another 10 or 15 minutes. But all I'll say for
Yeah.
now is that I think that we can maybe tuck them in and put them to sleep. So I'll
But
say that.
the actual like entirety of Chiefs Kingdom.
Yes.
Yeah, just the dynasty. Just stick it in the history books. We'll call it a
Right.
chapter.
Yep.
We'll just end this chapter right now.
Print
All
the
right. All right.
photos, print the photos,
All
put
right.
them on your wall and
All right. So you're saying that, the Raiders and Chargers, they're all gonna put them to bed now?
well, like we talked about a couple weeks ago with the Broncos,
No, Broncos too. Yeah.
the
Yeah. I mean,
Broncos looked
I mean,
decent. The Titans
I
suck.
don't know if I can give them, I don't
Titans
know if I
suck,
can
but
give them the pass, but the Titans, Calvin Ridley makes that catch. They go in and probably win that game.
sure.
So I don't know if I can give
Derrick
the
Henry
Broncos
doesn't
a pass, because
fumble.
we
Derrick Henry doesn't fumble. The Ravens don't lose.
right. Yep, that too. I mean, a lot of ifs, ands, and buts. But hey, guess what? Close only counts in horseshoes. So we'll leave
Right,
it at that. So
right. So, but yeah, we'll definitely talk about this to come. But make sure you guys stay tuned in and everything. NFL
yep.
season. This is Evan's bread and butter right here. The white Cooper DeJean or the
Oh
original
yeah,
white Cooper, the
the
original
original
Cooper DeJean, the
lock
original white
lock.
CV.
They
So
they they call me Lockdown Loffer for a reason. So
there we
just
go.
that's what it is.
So
So
thanks.
any of my teammates can vouch for that one. But this was
All right.
another episode of No Client Agent Privilege, aka No Cap Podcast. Your boy Will on the other side. Evan, we are at home, and we thank you for another episode of joining us here at No Client Agent Privilege.
Peace.
Peace.